Hello, very good Monday's edition of the Mega News of 6 News coming to you live from our 10th Avenue Extension, Grenada Station, Nongwa at Dogono. This is MBN TV Mega News of 6, the headlines.
Mahama blames phones for rising school indiscipline, backs under 16 internet restrictions. In business, Mahama announces Palugu Tomato Factory rehabilitation $5 billion agriculture boost. And on the international front, rescuers search for survivors after powerful Indonesia earthquake.
My name is El Samuels. The news is also live across all our social media handles on MBN 360. Details of the stories comes up after the break. In our first story, the President John Dramani Mahama has linked the growing indiscipline among school children to excessive use of mobile phones and social media. He's backing measures to restrict internet access for children under 16 as part of efforts to protect young people and improve discipline in schools.
John Dramani Mahama says excessive use of mobile phones and the internet is contributing to indiscipline among school children. The president says unrestricted access to online content is exposing young people to influences that can affect their behavior, discipline, and academic development. He has therefore expressed support for proposed restrictions on internet access for children under the age of 16. President Mahama says stronger measures are needed to protect children from harmful online content while encouraging responsible use of technology. The move forms part of broader efforts to address indiscipline in schools and create a safer environment for children to learn and develop.
The senior vice president of Imani Africa, Bright Simons, says Ghana must take steps to recover financial losses associated with the Accra Power deal, describing the agreement as a major burden on the country.
Senior Vice President of Imani Africa, Bright Simons, is calling on the government to pursue the recovery of monies Ghana may have lost through the Accra Power deal. He says the country cannot afford to overlook the financial implications of the agreement, particularly at a time when government is under pressure to manage public resources efficiently. Bright Simons argues that efforts must be made to establish the full cost of the deal, identify where losses occurred, and pursue appropriate measures to recover public funds. He is also urging authorities to ensure greater transparency and accountability in future power agreements to prevent similar financial liabilities from being imposed on the state.
In our final major bulletin, the former Health Minister Dr. Bernard Okoboy, Coker, Jeffrey Konedu, and others prominent figures have emerged winners in the New Patriotic Party regional chairmanship elections.
The New Patriotic Party has elected new regional chairpersons following its internal elections. Former Health Minister Dr. Bernard Okoboy, Coker, Jeff Konedu, and several other party stalwarts secured victories in their respective regions. The elections form part of efforts by the NPP to reorganize its structures and strengthen the party ahead of its next political campaign. The newly elected regional executives are expected to lead the party's activities at the regional level and work towards rebuilding and consolidating the NPP's support base. The results also set the stage for further internal reorganization as the party prepares for its next major political contest.
Now, moving on, we go straight to the business desk where the President John Dramani Mahama has announced plans to rehabilitate the Palugu Tomatoes factory as part of a broader government initiative to inject $5 billion into Ghana's agriculture sector.
President John Dramani Mahama has announced plans to rehabilitate the Poalugu tomato factory in the Upper East region. The president says the rehabilitation forms part of government's broader strategy to revitalize agro-processing and create more opportunities for farmers. He also announced plans to inject $5 billion into Ghana's agriculture sector with the aim of increasing production, supporting farmers, and strengthening the country's food security. The investment is expected to promote value addition, expand agro-industrial activities, and create jobs, particularly in rural communities. Government says the initiative will also help reduce Ghana's reliance on imported food products and position agriculture as a stronger driver of economic growth.
Now, on the international front, rescue teams in Indonesia are searching for survivors after a powerful earthquake struck the country, with authorities assessing the extent of damage and possible casualties.
Rescue teams in Indonesia are searching for survivors following a powerful earthquake that struck the country. Emergency responders have been deployed to affected areas as authorities assess damage to buildings and infrastructure and determine the number of casualties. Rescuers are working through damaged structures in the hope of finding people who may be trapped beneath the rubble. The earthquake has also raised concerns about further risks as authorities continue monitoring the situation and coordinating emergency response efforts. Officials are expected to provide updates on casualties, damage, and ongoing rescue operations as assessments continue.
And that brings us to the end of this morning's Mega News 6 live and direct from our studios on the 10th Avenue Extension, Greater Estate. But before we go, let's take a second look at the stories making headlines.
Mahama blames phones for rising school indiscipline, backs under 16 internet restrictions. In business, Mahama announces Poalugu tomato factory rehabilitation $5 billion agriculture boost. And on the international front, rescuers search for survivors after powerful Indonesia earthquake.
Thanks for staying with us. For more news, log on to MBN 360. The news was also live across our social media handles on MBN 360. My name is El Samuels. Up next is a sports update.